Hey, what's up, witches? It's me, Luna, with an unboxing for you, and I don't know if you can see. Yeah, because it's the void back there, but there's a bappening a happening. I heard a little bit of growls going on, so you might see something exciting. Anyway, this is exciting to me. This is one of the Christmas gifts from my daughter, and it's called the Floating World Tarot, written by Oliver Luke Delory, illustrated by Mia Komatsu. 78 card deck and guidebook explore the ancient traditions of the tarot with Japanese spiritualism. One thing I really love, as I watch our discipline evolving, is the decks that are specifically geared to, a couple generations behind me. And it really shows that this is a living tradition and it has been fully embraced by the younger generations, and I love to see it like busting out of the original structures. Okay, explore the ancient traditions of tarot with Japanese spiritualism in a stunning reimagining of this powerful divination tool. The Floating World Tarot set includes an 80-page fully illustrated guidebook, just 80 pages, wow, and 78 vibrant cards presented in a keepsake box. Detailed explanations guiding keywords and reversed meanings are provided for each card. And we have a little bit of, I like this, they, in the back, they show you what the book looks like inside. That's helpful. And this is Epic Ink. I have never heard of this publisher. $26.99 US, £18.99 UK, and $35.99 in Canada. So that'll be a publisher I'll be looking up. So this is a bit of a different box. It's not a snappy box. It's a full, flip open with 3 sides. Never stop asking questions. I would agree with that. Here's the book. See, nothing written on the back. It says this book is a part of Floating World Tarot package, not to be sold separately. Oh, there's still a standoff going on back there. Okay. Copyright is 2023 by Quarto Publishing, PLC. First published in 2023 by Epic Ink, an imprint of the Quarto Group. So again, the labyrinth of publishing. Contents: Spirit of the Floating World, getting to know your deck, caring for your cards, shuffling your cards. Reverse cards, reading for yourself, reading for others, masculine and feminine. Keep a journal, and the spreads, and then we have the majors and the minors. About the author and illustrator. Let's find out about them. Oliver Luke Delory is a prolific personal development author, well-versed in Eastern philosophy and martial arts. His previously published titles include 100 Small Ways to Quit Worrying. 100 Small Ways to Manage Time, Wabi Sabi, Shinrin Yoku, and Creative Manifestos. He lives on Vancouver Island, Canada. Connect with him at oliverlukedelory.com. About the illustrator, Mio Komatsu is a Japanese artist currently based in Germany. She specializes in modern ukiyo-e-style illustrations and brush and ink calligraphy, but is increasingly experimenting with digital art and photography. Follow Mia on Instagram at MiaComArt. Okay, now, let's see if we can get a... The transient, fleeting, floating world drifted into existence like a daydream in the heart of Japan before flowering in Edo, Tokyo, before it was Tokyo, between 1603 and 1867. And it wasn't long before the concept of ukiyo became a popular topic for writers and artists. In what seemed like a world of sorrow to the Buddhists, a life devoid of meaning naturally led to seeking solace and pleasure in sad and beautiful, often tragically romantic diversions such as art, theater, music, and dance. Long before Instagram, pictures of the floating world, which is ukiyo-e, which is what ukiyo-e means, referred to a state of mind that emphasized not only the present moment, but also the power to transcend the dark and dirty difficulties of life. These pictures were produced by carving an image into a block of wood, inking the block and then pressing it onto paper. Portraits of people and places from popular legends and stories grew into a well-loved art form that blossomed like a cherry tree. The word manga is derived from the words man, meaning whimsical or impromptu, and ga, meaning pictures. What made the floating world so special was its isolation. In the early years, Japan's doors were closed to foreign trade and travel, allowing culture and civilization to flourish in a blissfully bohemian bubble. Geisha, kabuki actors, sumo wrestlers, and samurai got their kicks by celebrating the transitory nature of reality in creative ways. The floating world thrived in the pleasure districts where people escaped to bend and break the rules and lose themselves in a variety of passing pleasures aroused by entertainers, courtesans, and street performers. It was creative chaos, and everything that could happen did. I want to say the ukiyo-e, if you're fond of going down rabbit holes, get on YouTube and look it up, or look up like Japanese block print, and you will see prints and posters that are being printed from blocks that are at least 100 years old. And some of these posters take, a dozen blocks printing different things, and how it's just, watch any kind of Japanese traditional crafts, mind-blowing. Okay, but despite its decadent and hedonistic reputation, the floating world had a profound impact on Japanese society and culture. Its art and entertainment continue to be celebrated today, and its influence can be seen in everything from fashion to film. So, pictures of the floating world, ukiyo-e. So I guess the floating world is Japan? I'm kind of confused about that. All right. Japanese spirituality is characterized by a deep respect for nature, an appreciation of beauty and simplicity, and a focus on personal development. Shinto followers, Shinto is like the pagan religion that goes alongside Buddhism. Shinto followers perform rituals asking for blessings and protection from spirits known as kami, who inhabit trees, rocks, and mountains, while Zen Buddhism, emphasizing meditation and mindfulness, has a profound impact on art, culture, and philosophy. Traditional tea ceremonies, I studied tea for 3 years, just heaven. Flower arranging and calligraphy allow practitioners to connect with the natural world by cultivating a sense of inner peace and harmony, while belief in supernatural beings and mythical creatures inspires business people seeking enlightenment to stop outside major office buildings and consult with fortune tellers tucked into tiny corners. Now it's your turn. How will you explore Japanese spiritualism with this magical medium? The ephemeral floating world inside you and all around you is whispering, "Come out and play." Use your supernatural powers and inherent intuition and become the mystic you are meant to be. This says, because they fall, we love them, the cherry blossoms. In this floating world, does anything endure? So the floating world is just reality, the ever-changing nature of reality. Wow, that was roundabout. And that's a quote from Ariwara no Narihira, 825 to 880 CE, Japanese poet and courtier. Getting to know your deck. So we have a paragraph on each of these. Connect with your deck, familiarize yourself with your cards, choose a spread, trust your intuition, learn what the cards mean, practice, practice, practice. Respect your cards, choose wisely, blaze your own trail, and trust your intuition. Then we have caring for your cards, cleansing your tarot deck is an important step, blah, blah. Shuffling your cards, flying cards, reversed cards, can have many meanings, and how you interpret them is up to you. Okay. Reading for yourself, reading for others. Masculine and feminine. In tarot card readings, the polarity of masculine and feminine energy is often used to describe the balance between two complementary energies that are present in all aspects of life. The masculine and feminine energies are not necessarily linked to gender or sex, but rather represent two different aspects of energy that can be present within any individual or situation. I like that they explain that. Masculine energy is typically associated with the Emperor, the Magician, or the Chariot, which symbolize leadership, power, control. Feminine energy is with the High Priestess, Empress, or the Moon, which symbolize wisdom, nurturing, and intuition. So it talks about them in a reading and the balance of both energies. It's important to embrace both our assertive and intuitive sides and find balance between them in order to live a more fulfilling and empowered life. Yes. Keep a journal. And then the spreads, yes or no. Haiku. Draw 3 cards. Write 5 syllables inspired by the first card. 7. 5. I love that. Oh my goodness. You can, and then we've got these little banners at the bottom that have suggestions. Remember, nothing is black and white. A simple yes or no may not always be possible or appropriate, which is why I like using the 3 piles with the aces. I'll tell you about that. Because you can get a no, a yes, a probably no, and a probably yes. All right. You can also write a haiku and then draw a card for each position. As you interpret each card, consider how it relates to the corresponding element of the haiku. The Bushido spread, that's the way of the warrior, way of the samurai. And that's a 5-card spread. Then we have a geisha spread, which is 6. Then we have the comic book spread. I love the way this is really footed in Japanese culture, past and present. And that's 9 cards. And then we have the floating world spread, which is a Celtic cross. Okay. Then we're into the majors. So we have 2 cards per page, images and then meanings. We have the name. We have a list of keywords, upright meaning and reverse meaning. All right. And then the minors we come into here. There's a little introduction. And then same thing, but we've got the image above, and very simple. But you know, how complicated does it need to be? Let's get to the deck. I like that. I like the way this is structured. It fits, the cards fit in here just incredibly well. That's very pleasing. Okay. The band is off. We have these really kind of Simpsons-esque looking dragons. And clearly we have non-directional backs. Whoa! Shooting off the stack. It's a reasonable sized deck. I can hold the whole thing. Cardstock is cardish, not, you know, thick cardboard, so it feels pretty good. Feels pretty familiar. Okay, so here we have the Fool, and she's riding on this little doggy. So we don't get descriptions. All right, I'm really confused. Look at how she's got her hands here, but then it's sort of like, is she holding that with her feet? Uh-oh, here we go. Yeah, there's no description, or maybe, okay, full of wistful whimsy and wonder, with few possessions weighing her down, this creature is carefree, following her curiosity. Her white cat, her feline familiar, is often associated with purity, innocence, magic, and the power of intuition, sometimes symbolizing protection and comfort, and nurturing of inner wisdom, innocent and free, and not held back by fears. The Fool floats through the sky on the edge of eternity with a bright smile on her face. She may not know where she's going or how she'll get there. However, certain outcomes do not faze her on her mission to great adventure and growth. This card is often assigned to take a break from responsibilities and reflect before taking a leap of faith, embrace new experiences and opportunities, even if they come with risk or uncertainty, and trust you will be guided to where you need to be. So they do, I mean, she talks about them, about the elements, but she doesn't say this person's holding this staff with her feet. Okay. But it's certainly recognizable as the Fool. Okay, let's go. Here's the Magician. We have the fan, the pentacle, the cup, and the sword. So I went, do they call them fans? No, it's wands, so it's typical suits, but it's just a fan. Recognizable. And here's the High Priestess. So I love, you know, the geishas and the no theater and kabuki theater, just some of the little things, these little dots way above here for eyebrows, and then they used to blacken their teeth too. That one I still don't understand. And here's the Empress. Look at the bunny. Fertility. Absolutely. The Emperor. They're very expressive. The art style is loose. The color is like watercolor washes and colors blending together. And then we have these, you know, things that are very well outlined and then things that aren't. The faces are really expressive. Definitely that manga-ish anime style. Here's the Hierophant. Look at the long tail. And a Torii gate. The shoes are interesting too. The Lovers. I love the ambiguity. That's certainly female. That you could guess is female. So we're busting norms here. The Chariot. I love the snakes on his head that kind of look like Aries horns. Oh, they're so, I mean, they're cute, but they've got a, you know, an edge to them too. Here's Strength. Wrestling with the Lion. Wow. The Hermit. Very interesting. It's like rabbit ears here, but look at these things coming out and holding this staff and this lamp with this utter concentration. Wheel of Fortune. They are recognizable and fresh. Justice. Looks like they're balanced on tippy toes. And the Hanged Man, look how cute. Oh my God. Yes, they are adorable. But they feel like there's thought behind them, and it's not just a, you know, a manga-izing of a standard tarot. Death with the Skulls. Temperance. Ooh. I like the three faces and the rainbow. The Devil. Look at the big bellies and the chicken legs. So here's the Devil with snakes, and they look like, they don't really look like they're chained. The Tower. That's certainly recognizable. So very stylized, but look at the expressions. They're really, really like dynamic and expressive. Here's the Star. And I love the way, you know, this star doesn't have a dark outline on it, so it really looks like just light. Here's the Moon. The Sun. What an interesting critter it is riding. Its feet are going all which ways. Very fantastical. And here's Judgment with the trumpet. And then the World. Oh, look at the intensity here. Now we have wands. Here's the Eagle. The Eagle represents air, though. I'll be interested to see what the other aces do. There's the 2. One up, one down. The 3, that's very recognizable. So we do have the, you know, the symbol for the suit showing prominently in a pippish way, but then we have illustrations as well. Here's the 4 of Wands. So it looks like a happy couple and their fur baby. And here's the 5 of Wands. Again, rabbits, lots of rabbits. The 6. They are, look at the victory laurels. They are very recognizable. The 7 with a big frog. The 8. Long noodles. The 9. Little band-aid on the head there. And the 10. I mean, just the face. It doesn't show her carrying a bundle. There's something on her back. Yeah, it's just her obi. But look at the face, is just like, had enough. Here's the Page. And the Knight. And we have a different skin tone there. And the Queen. and the king, you know, very reminiscent of really traditional Japanese things. There's a salamander. She's got the cat. He's got the horse. The page has like a little water dragon or some kind of dragon. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. We've got, and we don't have. I was looking for like the four, you know, fixed signs: the bull, the angel, the you know, angel or eagle, the scorpion, and the lion. But that's not the case. There's the 2. Again, very recognizable. Look at all the little infinity signs. Here's the 3. The 4. Yep. The 5. Okay, interesting. I mean, this one shows snow, but you don't... I do not get that idea of being out in the cold. It just looks like they're walking under lanterns. And there's the 6 of Pentacles, weighing, balancing. The 7. The 8. The 9. I really like that. You know, pulling in these familiar things from the Waite-Smith. We've got the grapes and the bird, you know, the falcon. And there's the 10. This is one thing about the Waite-Smith 10 of Pentacles. If you notice it, nobody's looking at each other. They're all looking in different places. Here's the Page of Pentacles, the Knight on a bike, the Queen with a rabbit, and the King with a tiger. Ace of Swords. So I do appreciate differences in skin tone, even though we are very solidly footed in Japanese culture. Ace of Swords. 2 of Swords. We do get the blindfold. I always appreciate that. There's the 3. It almost looks like paint brushes. That's an interesting one too. Like the 5 of Pentacles, I don't really see the, you know, the heartache there. There's the 4. Sort of floating above things. Yikes! Look at that. Talk about dynamic. We've got a hawk or an eagle attacking a dog. Here's the 6. 7 of Swords. I really like the bright colors. The 8. Yeah, I don't really get the, you know, betrayal thing of the 7 of Swords here either, but look at that rabbit. And the rabbit is the blindfold. Here's the 9. And the 10 of Swords. Wow. There's the Page. The Knight. The Queen. The King. I love the, you know, how it's very strongly ukiyo-e style art, but really varied and, you know, kind of beyond the strict boundaries of that too. Here's the Ace of Cups. Look at the fountain. The 2. Again, we have 2 female-looking characters, or you know, gender fluid. 3 cups. The 4. Everybody's kind of like ducking down into their own cup. The 5. Oh my goodness. The 6. Look at all the rabbits with the teacups. The 7. The 8. Here's the 9. I really like that. The 10. Talk about, you know, partnership and emotional stability. Here's the Page. The Knight. The Queen. And looky here. The King of Cups is a swan. All right. My charcoal is lit. Let's give this a blessing. I'm really intrigued with this deck. It's refreshing, and I like to see, a Japanese artist doing Japanese style and drawing on so many parts of Japanese culture, the traditional things that were mentioned, but also the current culture, with manga and the everything being cutesy poo and very interesting. This is Sage and by Air and Fire. May you be purified and charged. I think this deck is going to surprise me a little bit, you guys. Oops, wrong one. And by Water and Earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may the spirit in you awaken. And guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for being here. And I have always been really fascinated by Japan and in love with Japanese culture, so I'm looking forward to this. I offer you, thank you for helping me connect with this. I offer you fresh water. I offer the fire of Azrael to bring in the spirit of divination, and let's see how she shuffles. Wonderfully well. So that's going to make me go to, what's the publisher again? Epic Ink. I'm going to go there and look for more decks. Clearly they know how to do cardstock. They shuffle great that way. Let's try it face up. There's a difference. Not always, but most of the time, yeah. So, yay, get a good mix. One more. 7 riffles is the maximum randomization, but we'll just do 4. And now, for a reading, I'm open to whatever message you want to bring to me. What do we need to know today? What does the collective need to know through the voice of this deck today? All right, they're telling me one more. All right, here we go. We have the 5 of Wands. You can see that competition. We have the 2 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. The Star, the King of Pentacles, and the last is the 7 of Wands. So we have Wands, Cups, Pentacles, no swords, and we have Courts, and we have a Major. So it's going to show us how it works on all fronts here. Going straight intuitively. Okay, the 5 of Wands talks about competing. It can be friendly competition, sort of striving, spurring each other on, or it can be a lack of coordinated effort. And considering we've got 2 of Cups over here, I'm looking at perhaps in relationship where we might tend to compete with each other and what that's all about. It can be a really positive thing in that we can inspire each other, in a relationship. If one person is working really hard on themselves or, working out and stuff, it can inspire the other partner to get going. On the other hand, it can work negatively where someone's, improving themselves and the other person is feeling resentful about it, or, or where you're trying to get the other person to change instead of working on yourself and all that kind of stuff. And then Knight of Cups talks about the action of love. What are we bringing? What kind of love do we have to offer in our relationships, especially if there's disconnect and strife? The Star and the King of Pentacles, there's hope. We all have to be very responsible for our own part. And interesting that we've got the 5 and the 7. Those cards are kind of a pair to me. And the 7 is stand your ground. So it talks about being kind of tangling and needing to set boundaries in relationships. Okay, let's read. Let's let the deck tell us. All right, 5 of Wands. Competition, struggle, conflict. Upright, meaning the air is alive with excitement as the rabbits tussle among 5 bamboo shoots, suggesting they approach conflict with a sense of healthy competition. The green background represents clear communication, so your challenge is to interpret the conflict as not as serious as it may seem. Interpret it as not as serious as it may seem. Okay. Then reversed meaning says facing conflict and competition can seem overwhelming when you're not sure how to handle the situation. Standing up for yourself would be a good start to sharing your thoughts. All right, but this is upright. So competition. And then let's go to the cups. The 2 says romance, partnership, harmony. You may be forming an exciting new romantic or collaborative partnership or strengthening and deepening an existing one. 2 people holding hands and sharing a pot of tea is a sign of balance and harmony in a relationship. 2 heads are better than 1, so trust your intuition and team up with an ally. And then the the Knight of Cups. Artistic, impulsive, mercurial. Fish on the knight's robe declare, do I see them? I guess I do. Declare he is intelligent and creative, and the wings of his helmet illustrate that he's a messenger of bright ideas, though logic is not in his pocket. Easily bored and in constant need of stimulation, he's discouraged when his dreams remain unfulfilled. This card says pursue a romantic interest or new creative project. Interesting. Because they talk about intellect and messenger of ideas, but logic is not in his pocket. So, but he's very emotional about things, so he gets bored and discouraged. New creative project. All right, so we could say maybe if you're noticing that things are getting tangled in a relationship, that you're sort of going at each other or trying to improve the other person within a relationship, that maybe it's time for you to pick a new creative project for yourself or on yourself, that it's time to funnel your creative energy into something other than your partner. Okay? All right, the Star. Inspiration, guidance, healing, renewal, connection. Once upon a time, there was a young woman who had always been fascinated by the stars. She spent countless nights gazing up at the heavens, marveling at the twinkling lights, and dreaming of the possibilities they held. Her eyes widen in surprise and wonder as a star appears in her hands. She gazes down at this glowing celestial wonder, knowing it represents hope, inspiration, and renewal. She intuitively knows this is a sign she's on the right path and can continue pursuing her dreams with passion and dedication. See this card as a reminder to take care of yourself and nurture your potential. Nurture your potential, okay? So you can be more conscious and creative. Let star power guide you. Immerse yourself in your passions and devote yourself to what you love. New opportunities are everywhere, nudging you to sprinkle your stardust around and make a real difference in the world. That just backs up everything I said about the top row. Is it's time to pursue your dreams and your passion. Nurture your creative vision. And then King of Pentacles. They're in a weird order. It goes Wands, Pentacles, Swords, and Cups. Okay. King, leadership, abundance, responsibility. Though the king commands respect, he's gracious and generous. With his castle in the background and his scepter in his hand, he sits regally on a tiger, indicating he has tamed his animal nature. His hand on a golden pentacle, he has mastered the alchemical mysteries and is content turning lead into gold. What advice would he give? So I like that, they're bringing in things in the image. He sits on a tiger, indicating he's tamed his animal nature. So it's not just, this is not a frivolous deck. You would look at the artwork and think, oh, it's cute and kind of lighthearted, but it does have some gravitas to it. So this is talking about gracious and generous, but responsibility and leadership. So here we go. When you're tangling and trying to change your partner instead of working on yourself, it is time to be inspired and nurture your own creative projects, take responsibility for yourself, and do something practical. I mean, he's the King of Pentacles, so it is something in the practical. And what happens then, here's a secret that you might not have discovered. Anytime you're really hell-bent on changing your partner and they're stubbornly refusing and you're getting really resentful, instead, look at yourself and see how you need to fix the thing in you that's annoying you and your partner, and start working on yourself, and they usually will trot along right behind you. Leadership, lead the way. Show them how by focusing on your own and not, look what I'm doing here. Let me show you. Just do it. Take responsibility for yourself and your own creativity, your own manifestation of your gifts into the world, and that provides leadership to show them the way they're going to be inspired by you and not pushed by you. And then we have Seven of Wands. Courage, determination, resilience. Protecting himself from the challenges attacking from below. This young man is standing his ground, not afraid to defend himself. His sidekick, holding on for dear life, is a sign he remains flexible, so you can rely on your ability to speak up for what is right and make it out alive. There's the little frog hanging to him for dear life. Hilarious. Courage, determination, resilience. So here's where, in this scenario, and this is kind of a thing that can happen when you're sort of working on moving your relationship out of codependency. Sometimes we have a good, solid relationship. We have a partner that is our equal, but we've got codependent habits that are in the way that we learned, from before. And so what can happen is, you're trying to move towards healthier things. You've got the right idea, but you keep trying to work on each other. You're so used to taking responsibility for other people's stuff that you feel responsible for improving your partner, and nothing engenders resentment faster than somebody trying to fix you, right? So that resentment becomes a red flag, and we go to, all right, how do I lead us out of this codependent thing? When, both people really, their hearts are in the right place and we really want to move forward in a healthy way, but we don't know how. Well, here's how. You start working on your own stuff. And this says, and you stand your ground with that stuff so that you don't go into the boundaryless place again, with your partner, and they're starting to mess around in your stuff and you're messing around in their stuff. This can talk about, I think, each person really taking ownership of their creativity and what they're trying to manifest, and look at, I'm doing my work, may it be an inspiration to my partner. And it also can talk about when you're doing creative work, there's a time where you have to sort of make everybody else back off. If you reveal what you're doing too early, and people have opinions, it can take you off of your vision and make you, bring in doubts and just that mess of somebody else's opinion when you're trying to put out your clear, creative expression. Anyway, yeah, that gave a reading. What do you think? I think this is a really cool little deck. But please tell me what you think down below. I seriously doubt if any of you had this deck, because Epic Ink is so bizarre. And this came from Barnes and Noble. So it really is worth, rather than just looking, in the semi-echo chamber of YouTube or Facebook, where people are either collecting from the, big publishers or they're collecting indies. And then you get these little, small publishers that just sort of get lost by the wayside. So going into an actual bookstore like Barnes and Noble or Books A Million, they have extensive tarot and oracle shelves. And you can find these odd little publishers that have some gems to offer. And I think this is one of them. I mean, it's such a spring deck. Look at the colors and everything. Anyhow, let's engage down below. Let me know what you think. I will answer your comments. I hope to see you next time on an unboxing or a live stream. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.